WFNU is a volunteer-run station made up of many different community voices.
No doubt, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Trahern Cruise Show on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio.
Each program expresses one aspect of that diversity and not the views of WFNU or Frogtown Tuned In as a whole.
No doubt, no doubt. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Trahern Cruise Show. Supposed to be talking to Antonio Darris. We'll see what happens. If not, we're definitely going to talk about why black people are afraid to take the vaccine. So we're going to start talking about that real quick. A lot of people have no doubt. So if you've been watching the news, they've been talking to black people about taking the vaccine and things like that. So on today's show, we're going to discuss why black people feel like that and why so many black people are questioning taking the vaccine. No doubt. Welcome to another edition of the Trahern Cruise Show on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. We got a great show lined up today. We're going to talk about COVID-19 and the vaccine and why black people don't want to take it right here on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. So you might have been watching the news recently. You might have been watching the news recently and just seeing some of the things that are happening that a lot of people are really not interested, especially black people, in taking the vaccine. I did a poll on my so my sister's here too. We're going to talk to her first, and then we'll talk about the medical experiments, and we might even talk to Antonio Darris before the night is over. So so if you're in Minnesota, a lot of you might know what happened to my sister Shea's son Hardel, who was found dead in Beltrami County Jail. This is one of the strongest women I know. I've been watching her fight for justice for her child for about 2 or 3 years now, and she's made I don't know anybody who's made as much progress in her. What she's done has led to 56 new investigations into jails in Minnesota. Shea, can you say happy holidays to Frogtown?
Yeah, hey, Trahern, God bless you. Happy holidays to Frogtown and everybody in the surrounding area, St. Paul metro area. You know, I really appreciate you getting me on. I've had so much going on. I had to go pick up Rhonda from the airport. So
Hey,
my
Rhonda.
apologies. Yeah, she's in town. So thank God she made it in safe. But yeah, you know, I heard you talking before this about the COVID-19, and I was happy you weren't going to ask me. But I'll say I'll wait for the second round of that. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
When the politicians and other folk that are in line to get it first, and we see everything is going good, then you can sign me up.
Exactly.
But I know God's got me, so I'm not going to worry about it. I know the blood of Jesus has covered me, and so I'm not going to worry about that. But to talk about Hardel and what's been going on recently with his case, I don't know if your viewers or your listeners, excuse me, know all of the details. So I'm just going to go back a little bit to come back forward.
No
But
doubt.
yes, in September, on September 2nd of 2018, Hardel was found unresponsive because he was left to die by himself on a cold jail cell floor. Hardel went into Beltrami County Jail on the 24th of August. 3 days later, he calls me, Mom, he's crying. I fell out of the bed. They won't do anything for me. They don't believe me. They think I'm lying. This went on for several days, Trahern. Unicorn Riot, I mean, man, Nico and Georgia Fort did an amazing job of showcasing that story and getting it out there into people's hands so that they could see the truth of what really has happened. And, I have gotten so many people coming back at me and, negative folks saying, well, he was in jail. He must have done something. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant why he was in jail. A man is to be innocent until he should be innocent until proven guilty. But, in our case, our folks are guilty. And then maybe if they live long enough, can be proven innocent. But that doesn't happen. Okay.
Exactly.
But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant as to why he was in jail. And as I've always said, Hardel was no angel, but he certainly wasn't a devil. Right. And yes, he made some mistakes. But in what they did to Hardel, they abused him over the course of 6 days. They medically neglected him. And when I say abuse, you would literally have to go and look at what Unicorn Riot put out for you to get the whole story. Right. It's so graphic. So I would warn, your listeners that before they go and pull up Hardel Sherrill's my interview with Unicorn Riot and all of that, I'm warning you, it's hard to watch. As his mother, it's hard to watch. You know what I mean? But I had to see what they'd done to my baby. I didn't want to just hear what they had done. I wanted to see it with my own two eyes because I knew that Hardel walked into that jail cell healthy and pretty much in good spirits, considering that he may have been facing, 3 to maybe 5 year prison sentence. At any rate, he continues to cry out day after day. He then falls out of the bed again, and they leave him on the floor for almost 8 hours, Trahern.
8 hours.
Face down, while he's crying and pleading and begging for his life, for somebody to say, hey, look, can somebody help me? He walked into the county jail and ended up in a wheelchair, depends, and of course, 9 days later was taken out in a body bag. So since then, I realized that you and I started going to the governor's mansion 5 days after Hardel died, because that came up on my Facebook page as a memory. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it was 5 days after Hardel died that we started pounding pavement and telling people about what had happened to him.
And you've been going nonstop.
I have been, yes. If I haven't, you've been out there helping me. We've been tag teaming that thing. I just thank God for you, Trahern, because I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it without you, Monique. Oh man, I mean, y'all been just on it. Kim Handy Jones getting boots on the ground, Nakima, Levy Armstrong. I mean, so many people have just shown up and have shown support. People I don't even know, never met until, until the death of George Floyd and the unrest of the death of George Floyd happened. And then it was even more prevalent that people were coming out and rallying and protesting and so on and so forth. But now we've done so much where I've been pushing the DOC, Paul Schnell. He has been, really working with me. The governor has seen the videos. He and Lieutenant and First Lady, they were just astounded. They couldn't believe what they had seen and couldn't believe that this could happen in one of our jails here in Minnesota. But the reality of it is racism exists, and it has for many, many years. Systemic racism has been here many years. We could go way back to Trayvon Martin. If we had to go, we could go back we know we could go back hundreds of years. But in the state of Minnesota, Black men and women have been treated unjustly. It's just not across every board, outside on the streets, and of course in our jails and the prison system. And I'm trying to do whatever I can to make sure that what happened to Hardel never happens to anybody else, which is why, we got Be Their Voices, the organization that I got started, and it became official on September 2nd of this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know that I'll be very busy this next year. So I'm going to be rolling up my sleeves to get in there and just, do whatever I got to do. But I have been talking with Mark Hasse, who's the ombudsman for the state. I've been talking, of course, to the governor, Paul Schnell with the DOC. A lot of changes are coming. A lot of laws, a lot of bills are going to be introduced into the legislation this coming January, where they have invited me to come and share what really happened in those 9 days in Beltrami County Jail. And right now, we've got a list of proposals and things, policy changes, procedure, just everything. There's so many things that need to be changed, and they're aware of that, and they're willing to make that happen this coming next year. So I'm really looking forward to 2021. It's got to definitely be better than the last two. It has to be better than the last two.
It definitely will.
Yeah. Christmas is coming up, and, I'm on sabbatical right now, but I promised you that I would come on, and I'm so grateful that you sent me the reminder, because I've just been, so overwhelmed with just feeling so, a part of me is gone. When Hardel died, a part of me died too. And his birthday is December 29th, just 4 days after Christmas. So it's really hard for me. We lost George Juneteenth. He died. And so we just came up on 6 months of burying him. So I've experienced a lot of loss, but I thank God that in all of this, I've had a lot of good people that have come along my side to say, hey, whatever we can do to help you, we're here to help you. And I got a lot of folks in the Beltrami County area, Bemidji, who there have been several people that have also died suspiciously in the Beltrami County Jail. But those families now, they're connecting with me and they're saying, okay, yep, let's get together. Let's do something. I'm like, yeah, we need to put our boots on the ground up in Bemidji. So we're planning that. Yeah, we're planning that right now. Good. And as a matter of fact, with everything that we've had going on recently, there's going to be an hour-long story that is going to come out on Christmas Day on Kare 11 News at 6 p.m. that is going to showcase, this unfortunate story, but to bring light so that people understand the severity of what racism looks like behind bars, because it is prevalent in our jails, and we can't continue to have it happen. We got to put a stop to it. And so AJ Legault, who's the reporter, has done a phenomenal job of uncovering a lot of, that's where those 56 new investigations came from. So I'm just grateful to God that, I've just been doing what he's told me to do, reaching out to the various reporters and just continuing to pray, because I know that is what changes things. So I'm going to keep on praying. That's right. I'm going to keep on praying, and folks are going to keep on being exposed, and we will get the truth and we will get justice. Amen.
So a few months ago, we went out to St. Cloud Men Correctional Facility, Can you tell us who is the owner of Men Correctional Facility and what is Men? Let's just talk about Dr. Death.
Who? Well, yeah. Well, I got to be careful because I'm in a suit, so I can't call
Right,
him
you
that.
don't have to say too much.
Right. But Dr. Leonard owns Mend Medical. Now, Mend Medical has, I don't know, 35 jails that Mend operates for. They are contracted by Mend Medical. And Dr. Leonard in the Beltrami County Jail was the doctor supposedly overseeing the care of Hardel and several other inmates. And as I said before, we could go back to Stephanie Bunker, who died in 2016.
Okay.
Then you come up to Tony May Jr., who died in 2017. Suspicious death now. Then here come Hardel in 2018. Okay. Then there was Mr. Lundmark, who died just last year in the he didn't die in Beltrami County. They so slick. What they did, they know they got a lot on their hands up there. Okay. But Dr. Leonard apparently is still practicing. I don't know how, because his license should have been revoked and he should be in prison. He should be under the prison as far as I'm concerned. But Mr. Lundmark got very sick in the Beltrami County Jail. And of course, what did they do? They don't take him to the hospital to have him checked out. They transport him to another jail, not far from the Beltrami County Jail. And before he can even finish being booked in, Trahern, he dies right then and there, because they did not want the blood on their hands. But that's not going to happen. They tried to sweep it under the rug, but you know what? See, this is what we're talking about, being exposed and folks and the truth coming out, because they thought they were going to hide that. But because of what God had me to do, which was to keep pushing, because if I had not pushed Paul Schnell at the DOC to say, hey, something's not right, they said there were no violations in Hardel's case. And I knew that was a lie from the pit of hell.
And so
you and I both knew that. Yes.
They told you there were no violations, and you found out how many violations were there, would you say?
So many. Oh my gosh, there were so many. I'll just say there were a plethora of violations.
Too many to count.
Paul Schnell found that, yes, he found out that there were so many violations, he couldn't even name them all in the, I think, 4-page letter that he wrote to us and my attorney, explaining to us that he was pretty much feeling really bad that this happened. And all he could say is, I'm sorry, because it happened when it wasn't on his watch. He was not the commissioner of the DOC at the time of Hardel's death. When he came out of retirement and took on that position, boy, he ended up adopting all kind of mess. And so he said, yeah, he said he was going to do whatever it took to bring about changes in the Minnesota jails. He said, but had you not pushed me to look further and do an internal investigation, we would have never found the whistleblowing nurses' letters that were sent out after. You remember we went and talked about all of that.
That was about to be my next question. So if you want to just expand on the nurse, I feel like she's a godsend or something, you know.
Yes, she is. Yes, she was. And yes, she is. This was a nurse who had gone up to Beltrami County Jail, and this was her first day on the job. Now, she gets in there and they told her pretty much that there's a guy in so-and-so's cell who's pretending and faking that something's wrong. She goes in there and she's like, what? She was overwhelmed by the stench of feces and urine in that room. So Hardel had not had a bath or shower. He had been lying in his own urine, Trahern, for God only knows how long. And she said that when she looked at him, it was as if she was witnessing a murder happen right before her very eyes. She was so torn by that. she quit the next day.
Wow.
But not until she and I had a chance to talk and get some real factual information out there before the FBI, because now the FBI is involved. The FBI is investigating Hardel's death. And now I just said to her, you know what? I don't want to, take any kind of, hits on our case, you know what I mean, in a negative way. So I'm just going to cut all conversation off until after the investigation. You know what I mean? To not jeopardize my case, obviously. But she told me what I needed to know. I got to hear it from the horse's mouth what happened on the day. And this was 2 days before Hardel died. Had she not shown up, he would have never even gone to the hospital. Wow. It was her that said, oh, no, you need to send him to the hospital. This man is very sick. And she knew it because she could see his vital signs, everything was it was telltale signs that he was in grave danger. Okay. And they did let him go to the hospital, but it wasn't until after the jail administrator denied to say, no, he's not going back. He's not going to the hospital. No, he doesn't need to go. No, he doesn't need to go to the hospital. He's trying to escape, which we knew again was another lie. Hardel wasn't trying to escape no jail. He was trying to get away from them because he probably realized they were monsters. Yeah. And he knew he was looking at Satan in his face. He knew how evil and devilish they were, and how what kind of just evil, just very evil operations up in Beltrami County. And it goes
for his life. He was pleading for his life.
He was begging for his life. He told the nurse, please don't leave me in here by myself with these guys. Please don't leave. I'm scared. He said, please don't leave me. He begged and told her that. He said, if you please, just could you let my family know I love them? My last conversation with Hardel was days before he died. And my last conversation with him was, you know what? You're in God's hands. God's got you. And yeah, he is in God's hands now. He's in heaven and nobody can hurt him anymore. Nobody can bring any harm to him and I'm going to fight and do whatever I have to do to make sure he gets justice and to make sure his 3 little girls who he left behind know the positives and the really awesome things about Hardel Cheryl. Because while people are trying to paint a very ugly picture of Hardel, we've all done bad. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Ain't not one of us perfect. You're not going to sit here and tell me that we ain't done something that, and maybe we never got caught. You understand what I'm saying, Trahern? No problem. But people want to be so quick to pass judgment because he was in jail. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Yes, he made some mistakes. Yes, he got caught up, in drugs and this and that. But you know what? He's human, and he was my child.
When this first happened, I remember coming out to Deacon Damon's house, to talk to you, and then I would remember what the stories that were coming out. And I remember they told you in the first news report he died in their arms. He collapsed in their arms, and then they tried to resuscitate him. This is what they told us.
Yeah, that's
what they put out into the media. Yeah, and then it was like he died of pneumonia, and that was in the paper. You know what I'm saying? They officially said this is what happened. So, what I know you know about this, but when we talk about the art of the cover-up, it's part of what law enforcement does to justify killing Black lives, or to justify their barbaric behavior, or how they torture Black people, or the terrorism that they're practicing on us in the streets or within the jails. So they demonized Hardel to cover up the fact that they left him on the floor for eight hours. Could you speak to that and how you've even seen other people's children be demonized? Oh, and real quick, Marissa Anderson gave you a shout out, and Valerie Castile just gave you a shout out.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Yeah, I know folks have been trying to reach out to me and that, and as I said, I'm on sabbatical, but I promised you that I would come out of sabbatical for just this interview and go back in sabbatical because
Thank you
it's
so
been
much.
it's been hard. It's been very hard. When you've been told all these lies from the very beginning, you know the truth, you know that they're lies. You're gonna do whatever you need to do to find out the truth. And I got to the point where I was like, I got to do this for Hardel for who he was, because Hardel was an amazing young man. He was smart. He was always very kind, always very helpful, always willing to give a helping hand to somebody. Even homeless folks on the streets, you hear me, was an excellent father to all three of his little girls and was crazy about his mama. We used to say that Hardel was the comedian in our family. Like, you missed your car. When Hardel showed up, it didn't matter what mood you were in, all that changed. He just had everybody laughing. That's who Hardel was. Very caring, very loving, outgoing individual. And just, oh my God, he will truly be missed on this earth. And for those that didn't get to know him, they really truly missed out on an angel, I would have to say, that lived on the face of this earth. And that was Hardel. But when they told us those lies, I was so floored. I just could not. I was just like, you're not going to sit here and tell me that this is what happened, when I knew that I knew before I got any of the information from my attorney, from any videos. I knew in my spirit, I knew deep down in my soul that what they were saying wasn't true. Because, go ahead.
When we started working on it, I was telling you, like, these are the things that are going to happen to you, but nobody can prepare you. Nothing that I told you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I told you this is what they're going to say and you got to be ready, but nothing I could tell you could prepare you to see the attacks.
Exactly, because they've come.
Yeah.
Oh, they've come. Oh, and, yes.
But the other day I felt vindicated because of something. I won't go into it now, but just when you got it was heartbreaking, the video, but for them to lie to you, and then when you see what actually happened, how did you feel about that?
Oh my goodness, Trahern. Yeah, I can't even put it into words, but I just know God is fighting for me, and the truth will prevail. And everybody that was involved in Hardel's death, everybody that had a hand in his death, they're going to pay dearly for that, because that was my seed. That was my seed. And we just knew, and we just kept saying the truth is going to come out and they will be exposed. God kept telling me they will be exposed, and they have been being exposed. And when folks watch on Christmas Day at 6 p.m. on Kare 11 News, they're going to see this whole story come together, bits and pieces of what has happened and how things have been coming together and how they've been being exposed. But folk ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till 2021 comes out. When I can't say what's about to come. All I can say is hold on, because folks are about to see what really we have been working so hard on behind the scenes to make sure that what happened to Hardel never happens to anybody else again. And I told him, if it takes me till the day I die, the last breath I take, to make sure that changes have come, laws have been, brought forth, and people are held accountable, because accountability is everything.
That's right.
They can pay me whatever amount of money they want, but I don't care about no money. That's not going to bring my baby back. That is the true justice, is to have her deal here. But we know that's not going to happen. So then, there needs to be some folks that the FBI find criminally, and they find them guilty, and they are not only charged criminally, but we know a charge is just that, a charge. We're talking about some convictions. We need some convictions to come out of this. Let them go and sit in a prison cell and let them cry out to Jesus and allow them to fall on their knees and ask for mercy and ask for forgiveness. And I pray that that happens because sometimes that's where you got to go to find him.
No doubt. Again, can you just give us the date and time that the special is going to air, and then if you have a GoFundMe set up for Hardel, and then his Facebook page, and if anybody else who's watching wants to interview you or talk to you, is there a contact number that you feel comfortable giving out?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be the hour-long story will be on Kare 11 at 6 p.m. on Christmas Day. And he's going to run it for several days. So if you miss it on Christmas Day, it's going to come out again for the next couple of days. And he said he needed to do that because that's when most people are at home and watching, because he wants people to see the whole story, instead of just getting bits and pieces of it. But people can go to Justice for Hardel's page on Facebook, and you're keeping up with that because right now I'm on sabbatical. And we do not have a GoFundMe page as of yet, but we are working on that, and it is going to be up and running soon because we need funds to get this 501c3 off the ground and moving forward so that we can begin to make some changes and help other families who have been reaching out and calling me for help. But we've got to get everything, we got to get our ducks lined up in a row. So that's what's coming in 2021. But yes, we will put that out there for people to help us to get what we need to get done so that we can move forward and making the positive changes that are overdue in Minnesota jails. And as far as them getting in contact with me, they can reach me at Isabel, ITDADEL 1229, which is Hardel's birthday, 1229 at Gmail. They can send me email messages about the story, but just know that I won't be checking any emails until after the first of the year because I am still on sabbatical. And any calls, I would appreciate it if you guys could contact Trahern with Black Lives Matter if you have any immediate questions, and he will make sure that I get those, get the answers to you, whatever you want to know about with this particular case, and maybe even how you can help, because I've even got people that are going to be doing some volunteer work for us and for Be Their Voices next year, and we're in the process of getting that lined up as well. But as I said, I'm just so thankful that I've had time to just kind of pull back and just kind of get the rest mentally that I need and physically. So yeah, the first of the year, folks that haven't seen me on Facebook will see me again, and I'll be able to answer any questions at that time or through you, Trahern. If they want to call into the radio station, if they have questions or whatever, they can reach out to you, and I know you will give me those questions, and I'll get you the answers back if I can. So,
Okay, and then
thanks
real quick,
again.
I know the audio is kind of messing up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Yeah.
Just real quick, you have a book out.
Yeah, I do.
Just about 60 seconds about the book and where people can find it for, and I'm going to let you get back to the sabbatical.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know I do. Yeah, the name of the book is called Stay the Course and Watch. And we also have a Facebook page for that as well. And that book is about the journey that I had gone on several years ago as an evangelist and went out to feed homeless people. And it's just an amazing story. It is his story. It's God's story. So I can't take any of the credit. To God be all the glory for the story. But we are also using the sales of those books, which are just $16. You can buy them on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble online and or at the publishing company, which is Zulon, and that's XULON publishing.com. And the sales of those books are going to help us raise the money that we need for this organization called Be Their Voices. So, yeah, very excited about what's going to come this next year. I'm going to be extremely busy, which is why I certainly need to be resting now. So I thank you for this time. I thank you for just being there for me, bro. I mean, seriously. And I know it ain't just about Black Lives Matter. It's about Hardel's life because we know Hardel's life mattered. And it's our family. And
Exactly.
it's everybody's family, you know.
Yep.
And we got to make sure that it doesn't happen to another one of our Black brothers or sisters on the streets or while they're incarcerated. They need to have their voices heard. And I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. Thank you for having me on. I love you. God bless you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
God bless you and happy holidays. Yep. I'll be in touch early tomorrow.
All right. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever y'all celebrate. I love all y'all. Peace of God be with you. All right.
Peace.
Good night. Yep. Good night.
And that was Shea Perry talking about justice for her son, Hardel, right here on the Trahern Cruise Show, 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. For our listening audience on Frogtown, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump into some music, and I'll be back to talk about why Blacks are afraid to take the vaccine right here on 94.1 FM. Frogtown Tuned In Radio. No doubt. So, hey, thanks for everybody on Facebook who's watching live. Share this page. Share this this interview. That's a real important interview with Shea. Miss Castile, we're glad you're watching. We'd like to get you on the show soon to talk about all the wonderful work you've been doing. We were supposed to talk to Antonio Darris. He dropped a new video. He's going to be performing at our upcoming rally. Let me see if he chimed in yet. And then I just wanted to talk to you guys about this vaccine. Because a lot of people, they're like, hey, man, a black woman made this. But even with the Tuskegee experiment, there were black people kind of guiding or saying, hey, this is okay. So they'll come to entertainers. They're going to come to certain people. Even before I get into that, I wanted to say something that's been on my mind all week, man. I want to give a big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to all the black nonprofits in Minnesota, all the black churches, all the black organizations that have been doing work as it pertains to justice for George Floyd, man. I remember a couple years ago, we would talk really bad about some of the nonprofits in the Twin Cities. But I'm telling you, from what I've seen in the last year, even before George Floyd, I see black nonprofits in Minnesota really step their game up and really start providing excellent service to our community with what little resources they have. So I just want to commend you. I also really want to show some love to the black church in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis. During COVID-19, you really stepped up. You've been feeding people, you've been clothing people, you've been housing people, and that's what the black church is supposed to do. And that's what the black church in St. Paul and Minneapolis has been doing during this time period. And, I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't see it. So I just wanted to say that and show that love to black nonprofit organizations and black churches and just everybody who really stepped up in the COVID-19 George Floyd era. Hey, we salute you. But yeah, talking about this medical apartheid. Real quick. And that was Jay Electronica with Close Encounters. That's like one of my favorite tracks. That came out right before COVID hit. You know, the lyrics are really important. So we're talking about medical apartheid here. There's a book called Medical Apartheid. I think the author, her name is Harriet Washington.
Monday.com is a platform to track everything.
So black people, I did a poll on my page the other day, and I was like, are you going to take the vaccine? And then when I looked around racial lines, all the black people, I would say 98% of black people said no, like I'm not taking the vaccine. Then one white guy, man, I know him too. I was a little disappointed in this statement. He said, oh, so many people are ignorant and this and that. And then a couple of people liked his statement, but like I seen a bumper sticker that says immigrants not ignorant. So what I translate that to mean is immigrants not the N-word, right? So when I seen that, I was like, wow, he's not knowing that there are black women who are nurses and doctors who deal with blood who are chiming in and saying, no, I'm not going to take the vaccine. He's not a doctor. He has no medical credentials, but he's going to call the black women who are doctors and nurses ignorant because they're saying they don't want to take the vaccine. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. So I found that I have found that pretty disturbing. Another reason why black people are really concerned about the vaccine is because what happened in slavery, the Tuskegee experiment, what happened to Fannie Lou Hamer when they took. Yeah, man. So we've had a rough history, and then like another sister was just saying with ketamine. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thanks for chiming in. Good to see y'all. Nikila Jones, Angel Jordan, shout out. I'm glad y'all's watching the show. Miss Jordan, we're waiting for Antonio Darris want to drop his new video real quick. So I'm going to pull that up. But yeah, so before we get into the video, because I want to get this last 10 minutes to Darius real quick. I just want to play a quick clip of Harriet Washington, Medical Apartheid.
And that means addressing some unfortunate aspects of our society. And anyways, I have a special place in my heart, and I'm very happy to be back here. It's hard to know what first piqued my interest in looking at the history of ethics as it pertains to African Americans and their treatment by the medical institutions in this country. But I know that my initial desire to be a physician and working in hospitals for over 10 years certainly sharpened that interest. I saw many things that.
So when she's talking about medical ethics, it's just like, is this vaccine even safe to take? Is this vaccine safe to take? Okay, we're going to send it now. Is the vaccine safe to take? For one. Two, some of the people were saying in the chat that it usually takes, and I'm not trying to stop people from taking the vaccine, but I just want you to make some educated choices, right? We just want you to make some educated choices about the vaccine. So it says the vaccine reverses your DNA. And I don't know if I should take something that reverses my DNA. Next week, I'll have to do it next week. We'll see how many people have been vaccinated by then. But so I got an email from one person who's like, I'm not even going to repeat what they said, but he was very angry that the vaccine was being administered. And then he sent me a link of the guy who made the vaccine that reverses your DNA. And some of the things that are in the vaccine is placebo. Then another radio station, black radio station here in the Twin Cities, has somebody on the air talking about trying to convince people to take the vaccine. But the things they were saying made me be like, I wasn't, when she started talking, I was like, oh, hell no. But no, she said there's something like a monkey virus in the vaccine. So I was like, wow, monkey virus. Am I going to inject monkey virus into me? So, yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting. And then I thought it was interesting how the answers to are you going to take the vaccine vote broke down behind party lines. I mean racial lines. Hello? I'm trying to send it to you right now. I'm on Facebook real quick. So yeah, that was Antonio Darius. We're about to talk to him about his new video, To Americas. Real quick. But yeah, so just want you to make educated guesses when it comes to this vaccine and things like that. We just want you to make some educated guesses when it comes to taking the vaccine and things like that. Because a lot of people, a lot of black people are concerned about it, So Antonio Darius was on our show a couple of weeks ago. He has a new song. I'm really excited about it. It's called The Change of Two Americas. He put together a really, really, really hot video, and we're going to feature it right here tonight. And then we're going to talk to him about it and why he dropped that, why he made that track, I'm really proud of him. I've been knowing him for a long time. So we're ready to get that going. And don't forget, we have the march coming up on Inauguration Day. That march is going to be in Washington, D.C. On Inauguration Day. We also have the MLK March coming up here in St. Paul. That's January 18th. A lot of great things are happening right now. We're really excited about that. So yeah, here's about to get ready to play this video with Antonio Darius real quick. You could go to his Facebook page. It's Antonio Darius, ANTONIODARRIS, or you can go to my Facebook page, Trahern Cruz, and you'll see it at the top. And please share that video. So yeah, man, this is really crazy because it came on a couple weeks. He said he was really encouraged by the George Floyd rebellion, COVID-19, and then that's what made him drop the video. So we're just trying to get him in here real quick. Thank you for your patience. Boom. We know I want to wish all of you happy holidays this year. Shout out to those who've been doing Toys for Tots. Shout out to those who's doing the food distribution. There's a lot of good things going on right now. Mr. Darius should be hopping in here real quick. So yeah, just stay tuned to all the events we got coming up. We got the March for Reparations coming up January 20th. That's big. Make sure you're out there for that. And it's going down. Hello? It's a message I just sent. So please bear with us. This is the song right here. It's called The Change It to Americas by Antonio Darris, right here on the Trahern Cruise Show, 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. I think because we're in the basement or something, things are moving a little slow right now, so please bear with us. Shout out Isaac Aiden. They had the Isaac Aiden protest yesterday. I was able to speak with Matilda Smith yesterday about her son, Joffrey Smith, who was murdered by the St. Paul Police Department. So you can go back and watch that. We also spoke with, last week, we spoke with Joseph Washington's family. He was shot by the St. Paul Police Department. Go back and watch that interview. Right now, this is the debut of Antonio Darris' new video, The Change It to Americas.
Different way, would you do the same old thing? Did you do it yesterday? Or would you try to make a change? A change for brighter days. Would you just sit back and smoke and watch the opportunities fade away? We're not taking backseat no more. We're striving, walking through doors we never started. No more drugs, disease, and liquor stores. Was all a part of your.
So, Antonio Darris is a St. Paul native. He wrote this song or dropped it about a month ago, I think, and now they're just pushing the video. So the video's on the BLM Facebook page, BLM Minnesota Facebook page. It's on my page. It's on Mr. Darris's page. I was hoping we could talk to him before the show ends today. So hopefully he gets in here real quick.
Color was the only thing you saw. Was the only thing you woke up to know. It's a different way. Would you do the same old thing? Did you do it yesterday? Or would you try to make a change? Change the brighter days. Would you just sit back and smoke and watch the opportunities fade away? We're not taking backseat no more. We're striving, walking through doors we never started. No more drugs, guns, disease, and liquor stores. Was all a part of your. We're not taking no more. We're striving, walking through doors.
And myself. Got any weapons in the car? No walks. Put your hands on the steering wheel, please.
Civil rights struggle to make these two Americans one man is much more difficult today than it was 5 or 10 years ago.
No doubt. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the Trahern Crew Show right here on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. We're going to get Antonio Darris on next week. We're going to spend a whole hour with him. We're going to get him on tomorrow or tonight even, because we got to debut this interview. We got to debut this song real quick. So tune back into the show in about an hour. We're going to talk to Mr. Darris about his new track. Again, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the community who've been putting in work during COVID-19 and the George Floyd era. You're representing Minnesota well. Let's keep up the good work. Next week, we'll also review. We'll do the year in review. And we'll just recap the George Floyd rebellion, COVID-19, all that good stuff. Keep it locked right here to 94.1 FM Frog. Keep it locked right here to 94.1 FM Frogtown Tuned In Radio. You can donate to Frogtown Tuned In Radio at the website wfnu.org. We have excellent programming. Keep it locked. All right? Peace. No doubt. Be sure to go to the BLM Minnesota page. You can donate there. You can also buy you some gear. Sign up for the march, RSVP for the march in Washington, RSVP for the march on MLK Day. Also donate to the Minnesota Green Party. We're doing great work. You've been listening to or watching the Trahern Crew Show on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio. Peace.